Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Tender. This is a members video taking a look at Apple. We're going to do a top-down analysis. I haven't done this one in a little bit, so we're going to kind of fix up the charts here together and see what's happening with the market here. Not a whole lot in the major markets are happening. Something's looming. I don't know what's waiting. It could just be simply options expiration tomorrow, and then afterwards it'll let the market go. But it's clearly just going back and forth, choppy, and in one place. So while we have this time, let's look at Apple. So here is all the information that we have on the monthly time frame. We have a wedge forming here. If you look at that, that's a very important line. If and when Apple drops back below this trend line here, going all the way back to the 80s, then that will be considered a fake break from this wedge that's forming here. So we also have a channel from the 2000, looks like about 2004 bottom here. I don't have the exact, I'm not going to look up the exact spots there. And there's some very nice touches here for the tops. And then I would guess, my best guess would be that the bottom of the channel eventually over time would be tested. Now that's a very, very big move to the downside. So I don't know when and if that's going to occur. There's other situations that could certainly happen. Besides that, if we want to be more realistic, we have plenty of levels that we could reach, and this thing could cut in half and just reach the lows here at about 120 all the way down to about 110. So anyway, what we're looking at here is the bottom of the wedge from these lows, and we're going to adjust that just a little bit because we made new highs here. So I'm going to keep this at about this bottom right here from May. And so then we could dig in just a little bit further, and we're forming, again, this thing likes to throw over plenty, but I'll just put it up here just to form the wedge here. Just two touches, just to connect the dots there. Nothing very informative. The main thing about this line will be that's the divergent line. I wouldn't consider that resistance or anything. So pulling back out and using the indicators, here's what we got here. A lower high on the monthly time frame. That's a huge divergence there. That's a big move. So then you have some negative divergences here as well, and about equal highs. Consider that a Class B divergence at that point. All right. So same thing with the slow stoke after making highs. Negative divergence in the monthly time frame. That's a big deal. So, there's going to be a significant correction in this, and that matches all the other. NVIDIA is the only exception that I have on the negative divergences, and I think that's going to be a very, very powerful. I think Tesla and NVIDIA in the long run are going to be very powerful stocks. Let's go to the weekly. Spent a lot of time there. I'll move a little bit quicker. On the weekly time frame, you see, first of all, and I do want to express that when you trade individual stocks, you want to get to know them because they all trade in their own character. You can see that Apple loves to trend, but it has very sharp, jagged edges as it moves. So just keep that in mind if you start trading Apple, or if you already do. It has its own character in itself. So we're looking at another divergence. Actually, let me go ahead and I'm going to move this over here because we made a high, and then just by a couple pennies, we made another high here. So this is going to be a very important formation. If we break down from this, it's very likely that the move is over for Apple, and a major correction will be starting. Okay, so we have our wedge, broke down from it, we're back testing. You'll see that in the other charts. on the lower time frames. But this is the most important one here. We have the weekly time frame, negative divergence. With the price making new high, we made a lower high here, and we had to cross over on the bear side. So it's already started here on the weekly time frame, and we should see that come through on the monthly fairly soon here, and negative divergence here in the slow stoch as well. Starting to make the trend to the downside, lower highs, lower lows. That's significant. Let's go to the daily. Trend is our friend. Here's the wedge. Or you could draw it. I drew it from top to top here. It's a double top. That's what it is. So we eked out a few pennies, a new high here. But what we really had was just like the Qs, made a new high here with a bearish rising wedge, broke down from that wedge, back tested, and it's breaking down further at this point. So what we have here is a trend to the downside. I don't know if this is going to be one move in itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we could have a little bit higher to correct. But what I do have to keep in mind is we're underneath the 50 moving average. We're holding there. The 20 is starting to dip, so we could get pinched here for a moment, which clearly we are, but between the 20 as well. And this could be a bear flag. If this move starts to be pretty big, this could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be a devastating trending move to the downside if that were the case. And again, the stock loves to trend. All right, so I wouldn't buy this to the upside. Unless you're clearly bullish and you think this is a leading diagonal here, and then you want to buy into new highs. With all those divergences, I don't really recommend that. But your trading is up to you. You have to figure out for yourself. So looking here, same thing. We have those highs, and then we made the lower high or higher high on price and lower high on the MACD here. And with the RSI, again, same thing. And that's just the theme. So every single one of the on the lower time frames, every single one of the big tech stocks have joined the negative divergence club, I was calling it. Yesterday, Amazon did, Microsoft did on its lower time frames, and we already have all the higher time frames with the negative divergence. So each one join in the club. Then you have a little divergence here as well. That started moving the price down already. It's starting to play out. All right, and then on the 65, real quick video, just want to give you a visual and kind of fix these charts up and show you how I look at things. I mean, look at these jagged moves. So this is what Apple's all about. These sharp wedges, very beautiful wedges that form. I mean, this is just great chart action. Bull flag, also inverse head and shoulder. You can put a little triangle there. Very jagged moves, but at the time, in hindsight, pretty obvious. Okay, so we could start drawing downtrend lines at this point. So maybe Apple wants to get back up to here. We had a bear flag, and I feel like this is more of an impulse for a 1-2 setup. So even if this is all one move here, then maybe this is a 1-2, 1-2 setup, and I think that matches a few more of the stocks than 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 nesting there. But either way, it's moving down eventually, and then you can take its take the retracements here from the this is how I was counting it before: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was looking for remember this to be a wave 4 last time we looked at tech, but it got up to the 50% retracement. So now I'm looking at this a little bit different. So this is more like it. From all the way from the top, we got a pullback to the 50%. So that very well satisfies that this is a wave 1 here. This move is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I'll adjust these. So the yellow will be the minor degree. And then a degree higher would be the, in the white, would be a 1, 2. And then again, a lower degree 1 and a lower degree 2, where this one is retracing deeper. This move here back up to the 786. So that's a very important level for a wave 2. Typically wouldn't go any deeper than that. It can and still count technically, but let's clean this up. But it's there. A trader in our group had already put out a trade alert on the Discord for this, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I believe that that trade's going to start following through as soon as today or tomorrow. But with price being held, I don't think too much is going to happen at this point. Now I'll talk about in the major markets what could keep the market. It just keeps rotating between Tesla, Nvidia, IWM, and tech. Just kind of rotates between each other, keeping the market moving sideways. So I think that might be the case tomorrow as well. So we'll be looking into next week. Make sure your trades aren't stuck getting theta decayed into tomorrow. All right. That's it. Thanks for joining us here at Options Center. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.